TBI, boys and girls. I'm your host, T-Ball, and I'm joined today by Backwards. Well, entering Season 11, so many things to talk about, so let's go straight to the list. Backwards will Noel crush the competition with the University of Southern California like he's been claiming?
Well, this season Noel says he's going to lose the aw shucks, I just got lucky. Nice guy of old, turn up the heat with his mouth, talk a lot of smack to all his opponents, which he's already started. But you know what, T-Ball? I just don't buy it. He last won back-to-back titles in season 5 and 6 with USC and Texas, but ever since then he's lost the game each season. I think those sausage fingers have passed their expiration date, and he's got some stiff competition in the Pac-10. I for sure see the game with C. Nasty against Oregon. Now that's going to be a tough one, and then UCLA is also going to be hard for him at the end of the season. And if he does make it to that championship game, I think Foghorn Leghorn at Florida is going to take him out. What do you think?
Well, without a doubt, the Pac-10 is the toughest conference in the NDL this season. From top to bottom, the owner's talent over there in that conference is just incredible. So running in his mouth early in the season may not be the smartest thing for Noel to do. I mean, we know he's the acting owner right now, and considering we're not even in a week 3 yet and conference play hasn't started, he's just giving these other teams bulletin board material. USC may be talented, but he's looking at least 2 losses this season.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, Noel dodged Illinois because he was afraid of the juice, and it's only a matter of time before he's in some tough games and getting crushed by some of his opponents. On to our next topic. Let's see. USF was under the stranglehold of intergalactic coach Trendon, who's now a first-time conference commissioner since I can remember. But after being fired last season, Coach DAW takes over. Biggest surprise coaching change in the league, and will he have the same success he had at Iowa?
Well, no doubt there's going to be a few transition games for Coach DAW to get used to South Florida. I mean, last year he took Iowa to the NDL championship game, but he ran into a buzzsaw in fog. His schedule here at South Florida is going to be tougher than last year's schedule because he didn't have to play Ohio State or Michigan in the regular season in Season 10. Now, this year he's already lost to number 2 Florida in the Kickoff Classic in that rematch against Fog. But he has to deal with number 4 LSU coming up here in week 3. He also has number 16 Cal in non-conference play during week 6. And then, of course, in the Big East, he's got to play number 9 West Virginia, number 15 Louisville, and then Connecticut is also another team that can give him problems in week 9. But I still expect the Bulls to challenge for the Big East title, and he's got to get at least 8 wins, I believe.
You know, you're right in that respect. I think he's going to get some wins, but his schedule appears to be pretty tough because he's got opponents with just a lot more talent than he does. I just can't believe Trendon was relieved of his job at USF, and now he's taking over at Pitt. Should be interesting if he can get him back in Season 12.
Well, you got to remember that the only way he's going to get him back is if Coach DAW gets bored of the Bulls and maybe moves on to another team in Season 12.
Alright, we're going to go over some of this, the upcoming matchups in weeks 3 and 4. For week 3, we've got number 4 LSU and number 23 South Florida. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to have to take LSU in this one. South Florida may not be ready yet for another SEC team. Who are you taking?
You know, I like the Tigers too. I remember watching Made on MTV one of these days. I don't know, I can't remember. It was a couple years ago. But that show had a kid from LSU. He wanted to be made into a ladies' man. I saw some pretty fly girls down in the bayou. Plus, I like jambalaya.
All right, Backwards. I got a big SEC East game for you this week. Number 2 Florida, number 7 Tennessee at Knoxville. What are your thoughts?
Well, this one's kind of mixed emotions for me. Tennessee really screwed the Wolverines over with Fulmer, voting them so low in 97th, so they had to share that national title. I did start that vote Florida number 1 thread. But at the same time, I just can't get Rocky Top out of my head. I got Tennessee in this one.
Well, Rocky Top's a great song, but you're wrong here. Florida's just way too fast for the Volunteers. And Tennessee, they're actually going to be looking for some Volunteers, especially on defense. That's the only way they're going to contain that super fast Florida offense. Gators win big in this one.
All right, next up, we got the best football in the country with the Week 4 Big Ten matchup. Number 6 Michigan at RTP's number 21 Penn State. Who do you like?
I like I like teams that aren't associated with the Big Ten. But if I got to pick one here, I'm picking Michigan. Penn State is no Appalachian State, so the Wolverines are going to have no problems here.
Freudian slip there, T-Ball. I know you love the Big Ten, but, you know, we do agree on this one. How can I pick against Michigan on a weekend like this? Both both Mo and Bo will pull the big blue through to victory. Hail to the victors.
All right, big finish time for today. Backwards, the NDL ESPN edition has been a big hit around the league. So what do you think about Badger Backer earning commissioner status to run this part of the league?
Well, Judy's done a heck of a job as the conference commissioner in the past, but I hope this title just doesn't get to his head. I mean, you've already seen the size of that melon. I don't think it can get any bigger. But you know what? You've actually been hired as a columnist for the mag in the past week or so. What is it like behind the scenes?
Well, to be honest, he's a slave driver. I mean, I haven't done any work at my job this week because I've been working on articles for this magazine to get it out. But with articles like Fresh Duty and Shooting the Bull, how can you go wrong? And just wait until you read a cup of coffee. That's a hot article. Backwards, a lot of good games this weekend. Do you think there will be any point shaving with all the betting Riccio and his protege will be doing?
You know, I think you should ask Dolomite about shaving.
Well, Dolomite, we'll wait for your response on that one. So send your letters and questions to our mailbag. He's Backwards, and I'm T-Ball. We'll see you next week on TBI.
TBI.